Hello fellow cine enthusiasts, my name is Christina and welcome to another Let's Get Reelz movie review. Today is Classic Movie Thursdays here on my channel, my version of Throwback Thursdays. Today's classic movie I will be reviewing for you is a pre-code movie called Gold Diggers of 1933. Yes, it is a musical and it is from Warner Brothers from 1933. Big shock. It stars wonderful pre-code and musical actors and actresses. You have Warren Williams, Ginger Rogers, Ruby Keeler, Joan Blondell, and Dick Powell, and Eileen McMahon, and all these other great Warner Brothers pre-code people. The movie centers on, I think it's supposed to be centered on Ruby Keeler's character Polly and Dick Powell's character Brad, but really it focuses on the character of Trixie, played by Eileen McMahon, and the character Carole King. Yes, I shit you not, her name is Carole King, played by the lovely Joan Blondell. So the movie takes place during the Depression. There's a whole bunch of out-of-work chorus girls. They are Faye, played by Ginger Rogers, Carol, Polly, and Trixie. They all live in an apartment together and they can barely afford the rent. Across the way is a guy who plays the piano and he sings. That is Brad, and as I said, he's played by Dick Powell. And Polly is just falling ass over ankles for Brad. She really likes him. The girls get word that there is this guy that they had worked with. He's a show producer and he's putting on a new musical. They all get really excited. The guy comes over and he's like, yeah, here's the thing. I have this show. I have a great idea, but I don't have the money. And they're like, how are you putting on a show without the money? And across the way, there is Brad playing his piano, writing his songs. And the music producer hears Brad, and he's like, you, come over here, I want to talk to you. And the music producer guy is like, I want you to write the songs for my show. He goes, but I don't have the money, I need about $50,000. And he goes, you know what, I'll just take $15,000. Brad's like, you got it, I can give it to you in cash. No check, but I'll give it to you in cash. And he does. He comes up with the cash for this show. And, they're all banking on it being a success. They have there's like this whole grand master plan for this show. And also in the plan for Brad, he wants to marry Polly. He really likes her. But getting in the way is his brother, J. Lawrence Bradford, played by Warren Williams. And that is where Carol and Trixie come in. You have Carol pretending to be Polly, and then you have Trixie just going along for the ride and being a friend. So it's Jay Lawrence and I guess somebody who helps out with the family. They go and try and like break up Brad and Polly, and they want to see what kind of girl Polly is. Like, they think she's just some hussy chorus girl who's no good, and they just try and distract Jay Lawrence and this guy for as long as they can to let Brad and Polly go do what they want to do. Like, they do get married. And that whole story is really funny. And honestly, to me, that was like the whole focus of the movie was Carol and Trixie playing Jay Lawrence and this person who works for the family. Was Guy Keeby playing the character. And I was like, wow, like, you thought it was one thing and then it was like just the other. It was I thought when I first watched this, I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be about putting on a show, and it was more of like, Carol and Trixie trying to like lure Jay Lawrence and Guy Keeby. It was crazy. I love that storyline though, because Eileen McMahon is so freaking awesome. I've never seen her in any other movie. She was really good as Trixie. And of course, this, as I said, this is a musical. It's Warner Brothers. You had Busby Berkeley at Warner Brothers in the 30s, and they're like gigantic musical sequences. Some of them are just like way too long. I was like, fast forward, let's go. But other ones were actually pretty funny and really good. You had one that's actually quite famous. It's called My Forgotten Man, and it's Joan Blondell singing this song about men who had fought during World War I. They were the forgotten men. And that's what she was singing about. The whole musical number is like really, really incredible. She doesn't have that great of a voice, but it works. It works for the song. Joan Blondell absolutely works for it. There was so much pre-code goodness in this movie, and by pre-code goodness, I mean women's legs, women in their underwear, and a whole bunch of sass, and women playing men. You know, that's the pre-code. That's, to me, what pre-code is. And it was perfect. It was so perfect. I love pre-codes. Warner Brothers pre-codes were like some of the best. I think they might have had like the best pre-codes because they weren't afraid to be gritty. You know, you had MGM, who was like all sunshine and kittens pooping rainbows. They had to make their stars look good at all costs. And Warner Brothers was like, meh, let's make it real life. Let's go for it. And that is what I like. They weren't afraid to be gritty. And that's how they made some of the characters in this. You know, they were jaded, they were worn out, you know, they were just like, oh, whatever. And then they're not afraid, like Carol and Trixie were not afraid to play two guys and get money and get some stuff out of them, you know? Love that aspect of it. I just wanted to make a comment on this. I think it's hilarious that the movie opens with Ginger Rogers. She's singing "We're in the Money," and after that she's maybe in like one or two more scenes, or maybe a little bit more, and then she's not in it at all. Like, she doesn't pop up anymore, and it's like the girls hate her. And, you know, they've all started off as friends, and then everybody hates her for some reason. They don't want Faye around. And like, well, that was really weird, you know, like it opened on Ginger and then she's just like, oh, go away, you know, nobody likes her. I don't know, maybe it's the fault of the writer somehow, no idea, but that was just really weird to me. So that was my review of Gold Diggers of 1933. If you guys are really into classic movies and you haven't seen Gold Diggers of 1933, definitely go and find it and watch it. It is so good. To me, it was enjoyable from start to finish. I really, really like this movie. It's a movie that I think it was like one of the first pre-codes I ever sat and watched because I love Ginger Rogers, and when I first got into her, you know, I went and I found this. So definitely see it if you haven't. If you guys like this review in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. If you have seen Gold Diggers in 1933, what did you think of it? What's your favorite musical number? Who's your favorite character in this? What do you think of the stories? Anything you want down below. And if you guys have any suggestions, leave those in the comments as well. And they can be either old movies or new movies. And if I pick your movie and I watch it and I review it, I'll even give you a shout out. How cool is that? Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell notification because I do not upload regularly. I like to say it's Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, but who knows? Hit that bell notification for more Let's Get Reelz movie reviews and classic movie Thursday reviews because that is what I like to do here. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.